What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back. We're gonna do something out of the ordinary for this video. I'm gonna just be a little chatty for this, but it's officially happened, and I'll turn the camera around so you can see. But it's time for a redesign. I'll quickly turn the camera around so you can see, but it's finally got to a point where I need to redesign and I need to make space because it has just kind of, got wild, got out of control. I won't say out of control, but it is pretty massive. So for this video, I think we're finally going to do it. I'm going to show you guys as much as I can of our collection. Alright guys, so this is the start of it. This is the before, and I'll go ahead and just kind of show you what it's become. It's really become quite a big collection. We've been collecting now for a few years. I want to say anywhere between 5 and maybe 6 years. I remember my son was maybe 4 or 5 when this all kind of happened. But basically, our workspace has now just become extremely cluttered. I have not really put anything away since we got our HasLab Omega Prime. As you can see, I've got Skybite and Sideburn just standing there. I've got Slingshot, one of the aerial bots to form Superion, and some 13 primes on the table. My Titans that I need to find space for, which that's been the thing now. I've been accumulating a lot faster than I've been able to organize, and that's what we're going to focus on for this weekend. So this is a before shot, and then I'll show you what, I guess, ends up of everything. But before we continue, it all started with this. This was the first Transformer that we ever got. This is the Core Class Optimus Prime. And I have a big soft spot for this figure, because without this figure, this collection would not be. I remember buying this for my son and transforming it for him, and instantly I was hooked. I remember being so excited with what this $10 toy did that I was like, I needed to get better. I wanted bigger, I wanted better, and I wanted to keep going. So from this one small little toy, we have amassed a collection that I couldn't tell you what the worth of it is. I never did it with that intention. This is something that I'm going to pass down to my son, and he can do with it whatever he wants. We enjoy buying these and opening and transforming, and I display for him. But this is the before, and we'll see what comes out after this. Alright guys, so before I go ahead and show you everything, full disclosure, it's took me basically 2 weekends to get organized and be in a position where I feel it's good enough to show off right now. I tried my best to dust off and clean a lot of my figures. There might be a few I hope that you can't really tell as I start showing you on camera, but nonetheless, it's still a work in progress, and it's not gonna end. I'm still got stuff coming in the mail. So this redesign is always just a never-ending redesign, and at some point I might have to take stuff down, but we're not there yet. I think we're at a point where it's better to open than to start taking stuff down. I'll show you some stuff that I did keep sealed, because there was some stuff that I couldn't bear to open. It's gotten a little valuable, and to be honest, it breaks my heart thinking like that, but it is the truth. So before I show you what some of the stuff that I still have kept sealed, we'll go ahead and show you our collection. Alright guys, so we'll start with the wide shot and just try to show you the overall scale of it. We'll start low and then just kind of go high, and then I'll get a close-up and just try to show you guys what I've got on the shelves there. I did keep some stuff sealed. The mashup stuff is, some of the stuff I favor, so it was hard to take those down. I kept my favorites of them, but I still have a few that I kept on the shelf. And then it kind of ends here. on top of my son's dresser, and this was just a little bit of some G1 and missing link stuff, some of my more favored pieces that I put in acrylic cases. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Another little shelf with some more open stuff right there. Some sealed Kingdom figures, which is kind of the beginning of my collection. And yeah, let's go ahead and get closer, and then we'll see what's in these cubbies. So we'll start off with the Titans. I have a few of them now. I think it's 5 or so. I do have the Armada tidal wave in the back there, and this has kind of become one of my a little bit more favored shelves. Right here is the Armada section. I think I've got most of the figures. I do have these Fans Hobbies Star Saber and Requiem Blaster that I've just been meaning to assemble and get put on the Armada Optimus. And then we even have the original vintage Armada Optimus right here as well. The battery's dead in the gun, so right now it doesn't make any sounds. But yeah, this has become one of my, I would say in my more current collection, it's become one of my favorite shelves right now. So it's kind of got its own shelf. Over here we got our Fort Max with some of our Japanese G1, some Headmasters, Metal Hawk, and Galaxy Shuttle. This one's one of my favorite pieces as well. I don't really know why. I know it's technically supposed to be an Astro Train-ish character. I think it should be bigger, but it's definitely an appealing figure once you do get it. And then, of course, our HasLab, our first HasLab, our Omega Prime. I do have the Skybite, and I cannot remember this other character's name at the moment, but yeah, this, I don't know how much of this will grow into, but the HasLab was such a big piece, it just kind of needed its own space, and I kept everything together. We've got our Metroplex here, and I like to keep that with our City Speaker. So I think this is from the same universe. Got the Starscream right there as well. And then yeah, that's basically our big, large Titan shelf. And then as we get to the bottom, I've got my collection of Seekers there. Some different planes, the G2 and then the Star Raider Ferric. This was one of my son's first, I can't remember, Bumblebee universe. I can't recall. These were one of the little kitty gimmicky toys, but I was able to complete the core class Volcanicus, so I just decided to keep that on the shelf with the core class as well. Over here we've got, I won't say it's my Bayverse shelf, but it definitely is becoming that. These are more from the Bumblebee movie. Got the Megatron there, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's a really nice figure, was the Shockwave. I really like this shelf, especially, I only have one of these style of Seekers, but you know how that goes. If I can track them down, I'll definitely have more. I really do enjoy the Seekers. On this shelf here, it's just a little bit more, some more Bumblebee. Got the Shockwave right there, the Concept Sunstreaker. And of course, one of my favorite is from the last night is the Grimlock, and the current recent last night Optimus Prime from the Age of the Primes. So that's going to be the first top shelf of the little cubbies. Let's go ahead and take it lower. Alright guys, so here's our core class shelf. It's kind of hard to see them all, so I'll try to get in as close as I can. I've got a pretty decent collection of them. Like, I got that, here's that Nemesis Prime in the back. The Shockwave, which also really stands out as well. I've got a few of the Seekers. It's kind of hard to see. I'll work on getting that lit up, but yeah, like in the beginning of the video when I stated, kind of all started with this Optimus Prime. I remember instantly being enthused about the engineering of the toy when I've got this first one. It was my first Transformer in, you know, years, because by this time I was an adult. I originally bought it for my son. Luckily, I was able to keep it complete, and it's just managed to stay in our collection now for, you know, 6 or so plus years. But I remember being most excited about that because for $10.99, you know, it was just it was fun. You got a toy that did more than one thing, and my son liked it. I fell in love with it, and we just kept going. This shelf is kind of mixed up. This Skylinks needs to be on a taller shelf right now, but again, like I said, this is just a work in progress. Some more little core class stuff that my son was playing with. Same here, a little bit of mix up. Got some Velocitron, got the Stranger Things van back there, and I even have a Titans Return Bumblebee that I've kept sealed. Yeah, nothing too crazy with these bottom shelves. This one has now become also kind of favored. This is the animated universe, and I don't know if I got them all, but what I will say is that upgrade kit for this Optimus Prime has totally made this one of my favorite figures. It is not really complex, to be honest. It's quite simple, but it really adds a level of detail to the toy that it's just not there when you know, get it originally. Kind of hard to see, but I do have the Motor Master in the back there as well. And that's going to kind of wrap up the little cubby shelves over here. I have some more sealed stuff, my original Kingdoms right here that have now, since they were part of the beginning of the collection, just kind of happened to stay on the shelf. I do have some that are open, and these are what I've managed to keep sealed. Some more open stuff, Velocitron. I've got that Leo Prime. And then it's kind of jumbled up here, but I've got the Transformers 1 figures as well. See if they don't fall. There's Bumblebee. Still waiting for the Elita 1 and the Starscream, but, you know, like I said, they'll keep coming. Our comic edition, which I definitely kept sealed. I've looked them up on eBay, and it seems like to buy them all together, it's kind of pricey now. This is I think it was a Japanese exclusive version of the G2 Megatron. I got this on eBay some time ago when I first started collecting, and the seller kept really good care of it, and I just decided to keep it as is. And now we're going to just keep moving on. So here is nothing too crazy. I found these at Ross. They were like $5.99, so they were fun to pick up. But these are the Mattel playsets, and that's the Optimus playset. Just looks nice. Nothing too crazy about these. It kind of doesn't fit the collection, but for $5.99, you can't go wrong. And now I'll show you. This is basically our legacy shelf. It's a little mixed up here. I have the, I think this is the Earthrise Optimus Prime. I can't remember. It was the $30 one, so it's not the one with the trailer. That I do have that one in the Kingdom box sealed. And then one of my favorite pieces, which is the Jetfire, Elita, and I can't name everybody here, but I do also have that Hound, which my son got this for his birthday one year, and it took us a little while to open it, but then after we did, we started learning that this was a favored figure, and at that point a little harder to find, but yeah, we do have it. And then we're currently working on the Age of the Primes. I am still missing Vector Prime, but this is a shelf that's going to get redesigned. And then over here, just some of my legacy Decepticons, Insecticons. We got the Refractor right there. That was the Earthrise Kingdom. It's part of that trilogy. I can't recall what line of it, though. And then the Legacy Soundwave. This is our only knockoff. It is the NBK Devastator. And I got this on a good price on eBay and just decided that I wanted one. It might come down because this is not a technical Hasbro Transformer. But yeah, it does look good on the shelf. Alright, and so this is my favorite. It's a little mixed, but this is basically my Studio 86 collection. And there'll be some legacy figures in there as well. As you can see, I got the Sandstorm. That was one of the Generation Selects lift ticket right there. We've got the Origin Bumblebee, which is, one of my favorite figures as well as one of my first Bumblebees, along with, the Wheeljack, and we also have the Jazz as well. Keep going. We have more than half of the collection sealed, so that's going to be one of my goals. I would really like to have it that way, but I am counting some of these open figures, because like for instance, this Ultra Magnus, I do not have a double. I did not make the pre-order for the re-release, but if I can get my hands on another one, I would like to. And then for the Optimus Prime, I do have a double. So this one is the open, and then this is the sealed, and then ending with Galvatron, which is the original packaging. These both have the same number, which is something that kind of threw me off at the very end. And continuing, that's where basically we're at now, completing the Devastator. So these boxes are sealed. I do have doubles of these because I wanted to have a collection sealed and one open for display. And that is something I'm working on for a later video. And then the last of this shelf is just kind of mixed up. I need to finish organizing these, but these are some of my mashups. This was the Tonka Devastator. And I'm a big fan currently of Robert Kirkman's Void Rivals and Transformers Energon universe that they're currently writing. So I left this G.I. Joe, his tank up, thinking I might open it to start a sort of Void Rivals and Transformers display. And I think that's what I want to do with basically this middle shelf here. And then the final shelf is kind of cluttered. It's my Beast Wars section, and it's a little mixed up in eras because I've got some of the, original Beast Wars, and then some Beast Wars Neo, which I guess is this Magmatron. We do have the Studio Series Rise of the Beast 102, and then we also have the mainline one right here. But this shelf has just kind of ended up a little more cluttered than I want it to be, so I'm still working on this. And the Beast Wars, without really thinking about it, also is one of my favorites. Without really trying, this shelf has become a little bit cluttered, and I didn't realize that I liked it as much as I do. But that's pretty much the wall, guys. And then, let's see, I'll try to show you guys what I've got left to open up still. Alright guys, so this is everything that I still have to open, and like I said, some of the stuff that I've just kind of held on to, like this Earthrise 2-pack of the Seekers. It's become a little valuable now, so I kind of feel bad opening it, but let me know what you guys think. I also have this Legacy 5-pack, which has the Studio 86 Hound, which was canceled originally, and same, this has now become a pretty pricey box. I do have the doubles of the Devastator that we're just waiting to complete to assemble. We do have the combiners for Superion right now. I've been wanting to open this Nova Prime for a little while, but I missed the re-release pre-order, and so I think we'll probably finally do it. I've had this for quite some time. And then it'll be the the less expensive version, but I do have the pieces now to form the Menasor. So that's something we're gonna have some fun with, with all these combiners that I have now. And then I've had this for some time, and I've been wanting to open it and just getting rid of boxes. So I think this is what we're gonna, do for another video. But this is basically everything. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think I should open this Legacy 5-pack, because this is one I'm struggling with.